Well, hey folks, I'm over here at the new home site. Gonna make some sawdust today. And I try to be prepared, you know. Bring everything that I think I'm going to need for a day's work. I got my chainsaw and my helmet, some gloves, got some water. You gotta stay hydrated, and I got my Vienna sausages, okay? You don't leave home without those. I got my tractor here, and I got the forks on it so I can pick up the brush and haul it away. And I got my Polaris Ranger here. I load that up with 4-footers too. The stuff that I'm hauling at a longer distance, because it's a lot quicker to do it with that. But more importantly, folks, what I brought with me today is a couch. Yeah, a man grows older and wiser, you know. So I'm heading down to the property this morning. I've rented an excavator for the day. It was dropped off last night. And I'm going to pull some stumps. I got to get the rest of the stumps out of the way so I can finish the road down to the cabin site. The little Coyote tractor that I have will pull small stumps, but this is too much for it. It's too much for the machine. And plus you remember when the lever broke for the left side of my backhoe, and I did that cob job repair. Well, that's still holding out, but now the right side is broken, and I've got another issue with the tractor right now. So I put that to the side, renting an excavator, gonna get some stuff done. I haven't run an excavator in probably 20-25 years, so I have to get reacquainted with it, but shouldn't be any problem. Should get the hang of it real quick, get some work done today. I'm looking forward to it. This is a really nice machine. Yeah, it's only got 200 hours on it. Real nice Kubota. Well, my friends, I got some work done the other day. Got a lot accomplished. Did it just in time too, because we just had 2 days of hard rain, lots and lots of rain. And you start playing in the dirt with a machine on tracks, and it doesn't take long before you're playing in the mud. And I didn't want to turn my whole road project into a quagmire. So I got everything done that day. Everything I wanted to get done, I got done. And I had fun though, really. What a sweet little machine that is. Can't imagine how much a guy could accomplish in an 8-hour day if he's familiar with the machine, knows all the tricks and techniques. Like I said, it's probably been a couple decades or better that I've been in an excavator. And but you know, running the digging part is very similar to running a backhoe. You just have a lot of different options. And that machine's got the blade on it and everything. It's just, what a nice machine. So I'll have that back here again, I hope. So I got all the stumps out all the way down to the home site. And this section of road here, I widened it out. I came through that opening and got it to this point here. And then, you see how like that oak is leaning in? Well, all these trees were leaning in, and it was crowding this too much for like to have a well truck or something like that come down here. So there was a bunch of trees along the edge here, down in through there, and cut all of those down and pulled all those stumps and then widened all of this out. Because the road's going to go down and it's going to turn, and I want to be able to have plenty of room, which I do now. And I need the room for when I'm plowing snow. So I'm confident now that I have it the way that I'm going to need. And also up here I grubbed out an area where I will either put a shelter logic or just kind of like a pole barn sort of thing over here. Over in this area. Yeah. Looks nice, huh? I love it. The road winding through the forest. So I've got all the stumps pulled out of the road all the way down to here. Right here is where I stopped. When I turn around, I'm at the home site. The house is going to go right there. It was going to be down there, but Mama keeps moving it up the hill. So the house is going to sit right there. These pines will have to come down. Getting some firewood stacked up there. It's all 4-footers. Got a lot of piles like that on the property. It's going to be a nice place to live right here. Get that mountain range in the distance. And that one up close there. And then that just drops right down. Yeah. One thing that I really like about this property, well, there's a lot of things I like about this property. But one thing, there's a lot of oaks. We just had wind and rain. And look at this. Acorns, right? Acorns there. There. Right there, there. Look at them all. Wow. A lot of massed crop. And with massed crop, you have wildlife. So I'm always seeing moose and deer tracks in here in the road. But I don't see any fresh ones here since the digging was done. I was just showing you the acorns, talking about massed crop. And another thing that the deer love are the beech nuts. And I'm walking down and I'm looking where I'm walking, and I thought that this was little pieces of acorn, but it's not. Look at this. Look at all the beech nut. Look at that. Look at it all. See? Little beech nut. It has a hull. Little spiny husk like that. And then they break out of those. And they're everywhere. Look. Here's one right here. See, it's in the husk. But the beech nut is coming out right there. Deer love those things. Holy smokes. Look at all of the beech nuts. See, there's a husk right there. abundance. Yeah. So I'm putting the new cabin project on hold for a little while because I need to finish up things I need to finish up. Yeah. One thing is the firewood. I want to get all the firewood done undercover, and that's out of the way. Then I've got to do some sort of a patch job on the camp roof. And yeah, I said patch job because I just can't seem to find enough time or dry weather to do the whole roof. So I might do a patch job to get me through the winter. We'll see. I'll kind of cross that bridge when I get to it. But until the sun comes over here, I'm going to get to work this morning and start cutting up some of this wood. Got a stack of it here. There's a lot of small stuff, but I'm going to burn it up. So, and the small stuff will work good in the workshop stove too. So I just dragged my sawbuck out of the woods there. I'm going to start cutting. Well, I made some really good progress with the firewood yesterday. I was going gangbusters until that sun went past those pine trees, and once I was in the blazing sun, I had to call it quits. But put a pretty good dent in it. I probably have an hour's worth of cutting, and then this will be done. Then I'm going to go out back. I've got 4 standing dead cherry trees. I'm going to harvest those, get them cut up, get the log splitter out, get it all split up, stacked up, covered. That's another project off the list. Yeah. Always put up more firewood than we need. I like that feeling of security, you know. A lot of folks have asked me if I'm going to keep the greenhouse going all winter. At this point in time, I'm not planning on that, but that could change in a split second, because usually by late January, you know, and you get in the winter doldrums, all I got to do is fire up that stove in the greenhouse, and within a few hours, I'm in Florida. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah. So this is the first video I've put out. Now, there's been 3 weekends with no video. My last video here on YouTube, I said I was going to take a step back, and I did. And it was a step in the right direction. It's been very, very good for us. Much needed, and I think this is how it's going to stay from now on. I attempted to pull away from YouTube plenty of times in the past. The problem with that, with YouTube now, is as soon as you slack off from frequent postings, your view count drops, of course, and your earnings drop along with it. Now, when I started my YouTube channel, I would post 1 to 2 videos a month, and it was a hobby, and it was enjoyable for me because we had our spice business and other things that we did for a living. But then when we moved up here off the grid on the mountain, I was relying just on the YouTube earnings to provide us for a living, because we don't need much money up here. And it did, but then it turned it into a job. And there's sometimes you don't have a lot of content, so I'm struggling to try to put a video out. And it actually threw a lot of stress into our lives, because sometimes it'd be Thursday or Friday, I don't have enough content, and it would get stressful. It would be like, I got to get to work, I got to get to work. So sometimes if we have a really nice run of beautiful weather, I do not want to be sitting indoors editing. And a lot of homesteading channels put out 3, 4, maybe even 5 videos a week. I don't know how they do that. I haven't learned that secret yet. And I don't want to be sitting indoors that much either. So there was a little seesaw effect there between, you know, trying to have peace of mind and paying the bills. So now I just finally said, screw it. You know, last year was tough. The cancer stuff, the surgeries, all the struggles, and trying to put out content. I've been doing a lot of soul searching over the last few months, and I just decided, screw it. This isn't working for me. It adds a lot of stress, so I just need to back off and make it more enjoyable. And really, it made a big difference in 3 weeks. Okay, so this was the right thing to do. Quite often in my philosophical ramblings in the past, I have said, sometimes you got to take a step back before you can step forward. You know, stepping back will give you more purchase to push forward. And stepping back was a step in the right direction. Yep. So we have been having more fun. We've been out hiking, kicking around the woods. There's a lot of beautiful woods and rivers and streams out here. We were out enjoying that. And of course, I bring my camera and my tripod with me quite often and was filming along the way. We've been busy with the garden. We've been harvesting that. That's a nice cluster.
It is.
Growing like grapes. Yeah. These are big tomatoes.
And this one in here is even bigger, I think.
Yeah.
That's a big squash.
It is. It's like a jack-o'-lantern.
I wonder if it's a pumpkin hybrid.
A little corn experiment did okay. We got some corn there. Now this spot, as I said, was experimental. Remember, this was all brush here, and you saw Lori and I in here with the tractor, and we grubbed this out and leveled it off, put manure in here, decided to try to grow corn. I was a little skeptical how it would work out because this spot doesn't get the full sun that the garden does. And like I said, we're on the wrong side of the mountain. We got a lot of tall pines that block the sun. But nonetheless, it looks like it's done okay. A lot of the ears are a little smaller than I'd like them to be, but it's picking time. We're going to pick it. Nice burgundy husk, and the corn is super, super sweet. Yeah, these look pretty good.
That does look good.
Oh, look pretty good. Oh, smells wonderful. So I guess we'll have a corn husking today. The chickens, they're just starting to lay now, and I'm pushing that road further back in over there on the property. So everything is going good, and it's positive, and it's forward. And positive and forward is all I know. All right? So I have a lot of footage now, and on the rainy days, I will peck away at it at a more enjoyable pace. So this was all a positive move for us. There's been more harmony in our life, less stress. It's just been great. Yeah. And today, I fulfilled a lifelong dream this morning, folks. And it was a dream of my dad's as well. My dad has taken us to the lake down here all my life. I was a little boy. We'd go out there in the little 12-foot rowboat, you know. And my dad always dreamed of having just a little private spot on the lake. And we dreamed about that as well. I've always wanted to have a place where I could keep a boat on a lake that was mine, where I could just go down whenever I want, climb in my boat, and take off. And this morning, as I went down there and got in the boat and cruised around the lake, and it was silent and wonderful. There were loons calling, and did a little fishing, and it was just a wonderful experience. And I really wish that my dad could have been there in the boat alongside of me and got to enjoy it. Now, this has been absolutely wonderful. I come down this morning and the water was like a mirror, and that's just the way I love it. So the first day that I take the boat out, It's just the way that I like it. And we're getting very light breeze. There was a loon in the cove, and I seen a couple of kayakers, but that's it. The crows and ravens were really going at it a bit ago in the woods over there. So there was either a predator or an owl. They always carry on like that when either one of those is in their presence. Yeah, man. Fulfilling dreams this morning. My dad would love this. Yep. This is our little cove here on the lake. Yeah. Okay, we got a little dock. And this goes out to a peninsula. Then it goes back in to another big cove. Then it goes back out to a peninsula. Then back into another cove. And all along this shoreline, it's just like this. It's woods. There's no camps, no houses, no anything. Freaking awesome. What a thing to have. You know, awesome. I acquired that by accident, where I've talked about this on my Patreon channel in the past, where when we bought the 10-acre parcel where we are going to build our new cabin, where I was just stumping, that came with deeded access to the little private cove on the back of the lake. We bought that property and acquired that lake access. And this morning I was out there enjoying myself. So yeah, so things are good, folks. Also, a lot of you have asked me about my blood work, you know, because I gave you a report on the 3-month, the 6-month, and the 9-month, and I just had my 1-year post-surgery blood work. And in the doctor's words, he says, your blood work is stellar. I guess you can't get much better than stellar. So that was awesome to hear. Yeah. So I'm going to keep posting videos totally at random. It'll be more enjoyable for me. And it'll give me better content because I'll have more time to consolidate it. So it's all a positive move, folks. Stepping back was definitely stepping forward. Yeah. So I've got gravel coming next week, and I'm going to get back to work pushing that road in, because my goal for this year is to have that road all the way to the home site and done. That way next spring I don't have to worry about muddy access. I have the road all the way in. This winter we can cut more timber, burn brush, be ready to rock and roll with the building project in the spring. So that's the plan. So I hope you're all doing well. All the best to you, and God bless.
Frankie and the boss out walking in the woods, living life happy and free. Tracks in the snow everywhere they go. There's a pokey way up in that tree. A beaver built a pond where they have some fun, taking life a day at a time. Best friends until the end. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss. Frankie and the boss.